Alright, this is John Cola with OKRaw.com through another exciting episode for you. In this episode, what we're going to do is we're going to show you guys actually what my December haul is. So literally, you know, Christmas is here upon us. This is probably airing a few days after Christmas. And I did a shopping haul, so I have food for the holidays for my family that is going to be coming and visiting, as well as more plants to plant out in my garden. I've packed the car quite good, and actually this trip I took my parents to LA, and we had a nice time and went shopping and all that stuff. So not only did I have to fit my produce, but I had to fit 2 additional people in the car that I don't normally fit. So I was able to pack, you know, really well, all kinds of cool stuff, including we got some leeks, and leeks are probably one of the most nutritious onions you guys should be eating. Super high in antioxidants and anti-cancer, powerful fighting compounds. I got a few shallot plants. Another thing you guys should be eating. How often you guys eat shallots? Hey, if you guys just do nothing else than switch out, you know, shallots, which are pretty much just like onions. Instead of eating onions, you're doing yourself a big favor because you've increased the phytonutrient content of white onions by like 5 times, right? Then of course we got some dazzling blue kale. So like I like to eat colorful foods, especially ones with the orange pigments or purple pigments in there. We got some orange cauliflower, and then up there we got celery. So I could, it's actually red stem celery. So I'll be juicing that stuff up when it gets bigger. I got some tree collards, and then inside, I think I got some more kale. No, I got some red boar kale. So that's red leaf kale, along with some sugar beets and some heirloom red beets grown for the leaves that actually are a nice, deep, rich red color. And then of course, underneath, I put a blanket down so all the dirt doesn't get my my produce here. And underneath, we got boxes and cases of stuff, including lots of citrus this time, and orange bells, and oh, I got some jackfruit, mangoes. Well, anyways, let's go ahead and pull this stuff inside and show you guys my produce haul this time in December. Alright, so we got the car unpacked, and now I'm going to show you guys actually what I bought. Maybe some of my produce tips along the way, how I'm going to use these, how to pick them out, and more importantly, where I got them in case you guys want to get some deals on the best organic produce also. Now, the thing I will tell you guys is that I shop at a multiple amount of places. You know, I go to different stores, farmers markets, you know, the produce terminal, organic produce distributors specifically, you know, to find the best produce. And that's what I'm going to show you guys. I didn't get all this in any one place. I went to like all these different places in the course of a couple days. And that's just what I enjoy doing. I enjoy trying to seek out the best quality, lowest price food that I possibly can. Anyway, starting off first with this box here. This box is a little bit special. And what this is actually grown in sunny California. And these are Satsuma tangerines here, or mandarins. And this is probably my most expensive box this trip. It's actually a 25 pounds of organic Satsuma mandarins. Jumbo size, average diameter 2.5 inches. So these are like huge ones. You know, they're in fairly good shape. I mean, in my opinion, they could be riper. Some of them, you know, starting to have a little bit of soft spots that need to get eaten sooner rather than later. So I'll be sorting these guys out when I have some time and eating them. And this box for 25 pounds was $27.95. Now, this box was purchased from Heath & Lejeune. They're probably the largest organic wholesale produce distributor in LA for sure, you know. And I went there to buy this. Generally, Heath & Lejeune, they have, you know, the more high-end prices, but you're guaranteed to get whatever they have on their price list. I mean, they'll tell you the prices, they'll tell you if they're out or not. You know, I've sourced cool things from them before, like purple carrots, you know, and sometimes they have really good prices, and sometimes they're quite expensive. That being said, they are still cheaper than buying things retail, and that's like a one-stop shop. You don't want to have to go to like downtown 8th Street and walk the market and spend a couple hours, and you know, you could just get the Heath & Lejeune list, tell them, email them in your order, and you know, tell them that you're going to pick it up at the will call, and just go there and pick it up and pay with a credit card. Otherwise, go to the terminal and walk around. You may find organic stuff like I have, or you might not. So that's why I like Heath & Lejeune, and they'll offer you things that you can't find at the produce terminal, all right? Over on this side, we got another box of organic mandarins, right? And these are actually with the stem. So these are, you know, they look to be like, oh man, they're pretty fresh. Man, they got the green leaves still. They got the stem. Now the problem with these, is there's a few bad spots in there. Wow, actually maybe more than a few bad spots. Wow, actually there's a whole bunch of bad spots. Oh my god, I didn't go through this box before I picked them out. I just trusted the guys were selling me good ones because they had an open box, and the open box had no bad ones. It just had light ones. But there's actually significant rottage in here, which is I'm not super happy about. Normally I would open each box before I buy it, but these were taped shut. So yeah, lesson on me and lesson for you guys too. This actually box though was 22 pounds for $12. This was from the 8th Street Produce Terminal, and these are also organic mandarins, but these ones definitely have to get sorted through ASAP because there's definite bad spots. Alright, next up we got 2 cases of Fuyu Persimmons, and here they are right here. Each case is 25 pounds. Ate some of these guys for lunch today. Some of them are in good shape, decent shape. A lot of them are soft, but they have some kind of like the dark speckling on the bottom, which looks like a puzzle piece, and that's an indicator to me of like sweetness. They also are of much darker color. So generally they're a little bit darker. Orange, which means they're going to be a little bit riper. That being said, some of these guys are mush. They're already mushing in the box. Like this guy's like really drippy, oozy, so that needs to get eaten ASAP or done something with ASAP. But each of these boxes, 25 pounds Fuyus. These are non-organic. I like to buy things organic, but Fuyus, hard to find organic. These ones were $12 for 25 pounds times 2. Oh, and all these guys are going to get eaten fresh. And on these guys specifically, I've never freeze-dried persimmons before, so I'm going to get to freeze-dry a lot of the ripe ones. And I'll let you guys know how freeze-dried persimmons taste. I think they're going to be totally insane. Alright, next up we got a case of organic grapes. Now this is like, I think 18 pounds of 19 pounds of organic grapes. In bags, and these are in good shape. They had like worse grapes, some of which were only like $2 or $4 per case for the same size, but they had a lot more mold, which basically means you're going to be picking through and picking out the bad ones, composting them, and eating the good ones. You know, at this point in my life, I don't have time for a lot of picking things through. I have already a lot of work to do with picking through ripe persimmons as well as Satsumas. I didn't want to pick through my grapes, so these ones are in actually really good shape, kind of like similar to what you'd buy at the grocery store for, you know, $2, $3, $5 a pound. And so, yeah, once again, $10 for 19 pounds of good quality grapes. Now, the thing I like about the grapes is that they are a good storage, you know, fruit, right? Properly refrigerated at the right temperature. Let's see, usually on the box it says the temperature store at whatever temperature. Anyways, I store these guys at around like 36 degrees, as long as it's not freezing. You know, that might not be the optimal temperature, but that's the temperature that works for me. Basically, I can store these guys easily for 3 weeks without any issue. So grapes will probably be one of the last things I eat from this haul. I think the persimmons are probably first, and then the Satsumas, they're pretty ripe, and I got some other fruit to show you guys as well. So basically, I'm staggering my fruits, and I'm eating them as they ripen. You know, last produce haul, I got some Fuyu Persimmons. I've been eating through them as they ripen, but some of them aren't even ripe yet. And actually, those are the kind of fruits I like because they ripen slowly over time. Whereas, like, you know, I got all the ripe Satsumas that are starting to go bad. I need to eat those like today, you know, immediately. So yeah, always encourage you guys to like buy a variety of things. Some will store better than others. Generally, the citrus stores fairly well. As do apples, whereas the persimmons, well, they can store, you know, several weeks if they're still hard and firm as well. Properly stored at proper temperature with an, you know, berry breeze machine inside your fridge. Check the link down below if I have a video on the berry breeze, how it actually basically creates ozone in your fridge to basically kill all the mold and bacteria and, you know, prevent some of the ethylene from causing the fruit to ripen faster than it needs to. Alright, so as you guys know, one of my favorite non-sweet fruits are peppers. So basically what you have here, I have 2 flats of 11-pound orange peppers. Each flat was $15. And these peppers are in really nice shape. These are going to store, you know, easily 3 weeks because they are just in really nice shape. They're nice and firm. super fresh. Of course, you know, when picking out peppers at the store, you want to try to pick out ones that are like super dark orange instead of maybe ones that, you know, have a little bit, you know, lighter yellow orange color. I prefer the red peppers actually the most because they're most nutritious. After that, you know, I like the orange, and then finally I like the yellow bells, and then actually I don't really eat the green ones myself because they're not ripe. Most of these guys are going to get juiced up, and they provide a vitamin C rich juice, as does the fruit. And I want to encourage you guys to eat vitamin C on a regular, consistent basis in your life. You know, eat it for breakfast, eat some for lunch, and make sure you get some for dinner too. You know, vitamin C is an antioxidant that some of my raw food friends actually supplement and take an artificial man-made vitamin C, ascorbic acid, which I don't recommend. I'd rather get it from my food, so that's why I like to juice bell peppers, you know, as the base of my soup, and have that for dinner many evenings. And of course, in the beginning of the day, earlier in the day, I'm having the sweet fruits like this time of year, the tangerines that have plenty of vitamin C. I think that's all I have to say about the peppers. Oh man, oh my god, I gotta tell you guys, I'll have a video on this one of these days. The best thing to do with these peppers are to freeze dry them. Freeze-dried peppers are probably one of my top favorite freeze-dried fruits in the world. They just like really concentrate the flavors. It'd be excellent. It's excellent to add to my soup recipes to like really pop, make the flavors come out. Of course, get your fix of a preserved vitamin C. And if you guys choose to take a vitamin C supplement, I would encourage you guys to get a whole food source. I prefer just to eat the foods, but hey, the best whole food source of vitamin C, probably in my opinion, is like organic amla berry powder. Alright, just when you thought I bought enough peppers, I only bought 2 because I have room in my fridges, basically for about 2 cases of peppers. That's like 20 pounds, stored properly. I like to store my peppers around 50 degrees. Check the link down below if you want to learn the video where I explain all the different temperatures that you guys want to store your fruits and vegetables at so that they stay the freshest the longest. And people always ask, John, how are you going to eat all that stuff before it goes bad? So number one, I mean, like, I got another case of bell peppers, and you'll learn why, organic, and I think this is the same brand they sell at the Whole Foods, you know, as the organic whole trade bell peppers. They're by the For Earth Farms, and these guys are, once again, 11 pounds, and this case was only $5. So you're thinking, wait, John, why did you guys buy those other ones for $15 for the same amount, or the same, you know, weight, 11 pounds. Those are 3 times as much as these. Well, so here's the thing, like, these guys are in rough shape, right? These guys are starting to wrinkle, they're starting to kind of pit, you know, there may be a few, you know, black spots that you have to cut out, and actually this was a good case. Some of the other cases were, like, really in bad shape. Here's one that's starting to get a few pitting, you know, some weird spots on it. That's alright, you know, the bell pepper's still good. If those peppers stayed in my fridge like a month, they'll look like this. So these are just older peppers. Are they bad? You know, no, they're not bad. You know, are they not as optimal? Yes, you know, it'd be better to have fresh picked peppers out of my garden, which I'm still picking some peppers for maybe the next week. Another good way you could tell if peppers are good or not is if you look at the stems. You can see these stems notably do not look perfect. They're starting to turn black. These tips are starting to dry up. I mean, that's definitely one good indicator as well. And you want to see if the pepper's like, you know, kind of getting soft. This is getting soft. The skin's also getting wrinkly. And, you know, if their skin's wrinkly and soft and I need peppers, I'll buy them or whatever. But generally, I want to get a good deal on them if they're kind of getting old like that. And that's one of the reasons why I like to store natural grocers, because when peppers get to this condition, they'll put them all in $2 bags. For those of you guys that know natural grocers, that means they basically discount them out, you know, severely, so that they'll get rid of them and actually not have to compost them away like Whole Foods would. But yeah, so all these guys basically are destined to get juiced ASAP. Actually, this is what I will be bringing to my Christmas potluck meal with my family. I'm going to juice all these peppers and make one of my extraordinary pepper soups out of them. So yeah, this case was $5 for 11 pounds. Such a deal for organic orange peppers. Alright, next case I got, if I could tip those up for you guys so you guys could see them. It's a case of the cactus fruits, or cactus pears. This is a fruit I definitely want to encourage you guys to eat. Most of you guys don't even know what these are, never tasted them, never even seen them in your entire life, which I think is quite sad. Here in the desert Southwest, they actually just grow, and you can just harvest them, although they are spiny as heck, and the spines, when they get stuck in you, are a pain and they hurt. Luckily, these ones are from Mexico. But I did also see this trip to the produce terminal California grown cactus fruits, both actually purple and green, although they're probably different varieties. There's many varieties of cactus fruits, and I wish that the industry would actually start labeling what variety is what. They just put them in the crates and they call them either green cactus fruits or red cactus fruits, and those are the only two designations. Think if they did that with apples. These are red apples, these are green apples, but there's all kinds of different red and green apples. It'd be kind of dumb, right? Anyways, these are the red cactus fruits. I get these because of the deep, rich, colorings in there, the betalains, maybe some anthocyanins. They're also an amazing fruit. They're a good sweet fruit. They could be as high as 18 bricks, although if they're poor, they could be as low as 10, which those suck. Luckily, these ones look nice and dark. Hopefully, these ones will be really sweet. And this case of 40 pounds of the cactus fruits was only $18. Now, these are non-organic, but I think, in my opinion, these are wild grown. I don't think they'd have to spray these for any reason. As far as I'm aware, they just grow literally in the wild. Now, my favorite vendor for getting these cactus pears is right here on this tag. It's, if you guys could see that. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's called La Sucursal Produce. Sucursal Produce. That's always where I get my cactus fruit. Generally, they have the freshest cactus fruit. There'll be other places selling them. Generally, they'll be a little older, so they usually get the freshest stuff. And that's important to me because these cactus fruits, stored properly, can store easily a month. So I will have these well into January when stored properly. I like to make basically just batches of cactus fruit juice mixed with fresh coconut milk that I make at the same time by blending mature coconut water and meat with additional coconut water, and then blend that in the blender, and then I basically skin these guys or peel them and put pieces of this through the juicer with the cactus, with the coconut, mature coconut and coconut water blended up mixture, and then that basically extracts an amazing juice that has some fat in it, which will make it taste good for me, plus the sweetness, but also increase the absorption of some of the fat soluble nutrients in here, as well as some of the antioxidants. And the cactus fruits are so delicious. You can just eat them out of hand. They're really seedy, and that's why I prefer to juice them. And if you swallow the seeds, they basically just go right through you. The seeds usually just go in my compost, and sometimes I'll even sprout in my compost bin, which I've taken them out, and actually I have a little cactus plant growing from one of my very cactus fruits that I ended up juicing. All right, so yeah, that's the cactus fruit. Eat it up. All right, next up, we bought mangoes. 2 different vendors, at the downtown produce terminal here. Each of these cases were just $4, and for $4 I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mangoes for one because they're larger, and then the other one I got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for $4. So that's like 40 cents each, and maybe a little more. 50 cents each for the ones that I got that were a little bit bigger. Now, these mangoes are from Ecuador. So like, John, man, you're not eating local, man. I was trying to eat local, man. You're a raw food standing local, man. You suck. So you know what? You could keep your judgments to yourself. And, here's the thing. I just try to do the best I can, and I encourage you guys to do the best you can. If you guys want to be very limited to eating local produce, especially in the wintertime, when it can be very challenging to be a raw foodist as it is, because a lot of the fruits dry up because we are tropical creatures and should be eating, tropical fruits year round if we lived in the tropics. If we live in a temperate climate, unless you have storage apples or other foods that have been stored that were grown locally, hey, more power to you. Or you freeze dry all your summer fruits to eat, hey, those are dehydrated, and as much as I like freeze dried fruits, I prefer fresh. Freshest is always bestest in most cases. I choose to buy some imported fruits. I think a lot of the fruits are, a lot more close than Ecuador. All the citrus is from California. Let's see what else. I think cactus fruits from Mexico, not too far away. But yeah, these are from Ecuador. So, here's the thing. I encourage you guys to do the best you can. I try to source and eat as much local food as I can. I mean, I probably eat more local than most of you guys watching me because I have a full garden in my backyard. And that's why I don't buy a lot of greens in this episode. It looks like I'm just a fruitarian because I buy all fruit, but that's because I don't grow fruit this time of year. Actually, I don't grow a whole lot of fruit in general. I grow mostly the vegetables because they are a lot more important to me, and I prefer to buy fruit until the day that I actually buy a farm and able to grow 99% of everything I eat, including fruits and vegetables, all right? So So yeah, choose to get some things that are from far away. Luckily, at least these guys, they have a fair trade stickers on them, so hopefully they've been fair traded, which means that the workers are being paid appropriately. These are also organic, so they're not polluting the earth. Now the challenge with buying mangoes that are imported, if they're not local, is that they are hot water dipped. Whether they're organic or not, they're hot water dipped. In some cases, mangoes are now being irradiated instead of being hot water dipped. I would rather have hot water dipped. In my opinion, the hot water dipping doesn't reach like in the core and make them cooked foods or anything. They still will ripen up properly if they're harvested at an appropriate time and they're not like harvested too green, in which case they'll never ripen up. These mangoes look decent. You know, I'm not going to say they look totally perfect. I mean, they have decent coloring on there. You know, so I'm a little bit concerned because some of the markings and how they're, you know, got some like pushed in areas near the stem. You know, and some of these actually have a little bit of black on the top. Like, maybe they won't ripen up well, maybe they will. And here's the thing, like, if they don't ripen to be good mangoes, then I freeze dry them, and then they're good mangoes because when you remove the water, it concentrates the flavors, and then at least makes them edible. The last batch of mangoes you saw maybe an episode or two ago, you know, most of them were pretty good, although my freeze dryer broke, so I didn't get to freeze dry them. I had to eat them mostly fresh, which was sad because it would have been better if I froze dry them, because by the time I got to eating them, they're getting a bit more mature, and many of it was like going black on the inside, so I lost a lot of them, but hey, they're cheap. And then some of them that I bought when they were too hard, because I generally like to buy my mangoes when they're at least starting to ripen up. Some of the mangoes that I bought were too hard, never really fully ripened, and were quite stringy, all right? And that's just the chance you take, you know, but I'm not going to pay like $1 or $2 a mango like many of you guys might for super hard mangoes. I only generally buy them if they're like super soft, and that's why I buy like some non-organic mangoes, because sometimes non-organic mangoes are better than the organic ones, obviously. So yeah, just try to do the best I can. These are organic. I prefer organic whenever I can. Hopefully these ripen up, but if not, I still have plenty of food, and if not, these get, you know, freeze-dried. And then the last thing I want to say, you know, for me is that I love mangoes because these do not take fridge space, right? These ones, it's a winter time now, can be stored in my house. I don't heat my house until it gets really cold in the winter. Might be in the 60s, 70s, depending. And these just stay out, and I check them every day to see if, you know, check their progress. You know, mangoes do not want to be put in a cold fridge. They are not used to the cold. They will get, you know, cold burn, and that may screw up the ripening process. Some of these, when I bought them, I'm like, they just took these out of the fridge, and that's not good, which may affect the ripening. But I was aware of that, so I didn't buy too many. All right, so that's all I have to say on the mangoes and selecting the mangoes. All right, next up we got 2 cases, not 1, but 2 cases of cucumbers. And I'll give you $5 if you guess how much John Kohler paid for 2 cases of organic cucumbers. Now, these are not like grade A cucumbers. They got a few dings and dents and, like, you know, maybe a few bad spots, but overall they're in good shape. I'm not seeing any kind of like mold growth. There's some like zucchinis I've seen today that had like literally mold and fuzz growing on them, but these are in good shape. I mean, they're definitely not going to last a super long time, but they're not super bad, you know. So anyways, each case, oh, I'm feeling a little bit of a cucumber slime. That's not a good sign. That's one of the signs that they're starting to go bad. But anyways, each box contains 36 organic cucumbers grown in Mexico. Each case was only $2, so do the division. I'll put the amount up there. That's like super cheap for organic cucumbers. Now, most of these guys, I'll probably make it a holiday punch. Once again, for my Christmas party that I'm going to, I'll be probably juicing a little bit of ginger, pineapple, and the cucumbers to make a nice kind of like greenish sweet, with a, you know, ginger tang, antioxidant, you know, packed punch, you know, for the Christmas party. I might even carbonate that with my carbonator, make it a little bit fun and bubbly, you know, non-alcoholic, of course, fresh juices. And use these guys before they go bad. I like to drink cucumber juice in the mornings instead of drinking water for my hydration. You know, I'd like to do cucumber with celery juice, also super good. And so, you know, you want to know where I get some of my deals, right? I walk the 8th Street Market, you know, which is the Mexican market, wholesale market. And then on the new terminal, you know, there's a few sellers that I usually go to. And my favorite of which I will show you guys today. It's on the tag here. It's called Borg Produce Sales. Or let's see, what else do they call it? Oh man, it's like They're next to Rainforest. But anyways, it's called Borg Produce Sales. Their sign doesn't say Borg, but there's one guy, you just tell him tell him OK Raw sent you. He'll know who I am. The guy's name is Mike. And I was there at, I think, 6:51 a.m. But yeah, cucumbers organic, man. $2. I want my $2 to buy organic cucumbers. All right. So yeah, you can definitely find some deals at the produce terminal if you shop around and know where to go. All right. So this is the last box I bought at the produce terminal. Also from the Borg Produce Sales. Yeah. But anyways, these honey citrus, produce of Mexico, more Mexican citrus in this case. This box weighs 42 pounds. So take off like 2 pounds for the box. So that's like leaves me with 40 pounds of organic. And this is sweet oranges here. Let's show you guys what these look like. Yeah, these are like Valencias. So these are Valencias from Mexico. Hola, Mexico. All right. And you know, so here's the thing. Most of the Valencias you guys are buying right now are actually from Mexico. They're from this farm, or Purity, which is a common farm. And these ones will, in my opinion, are picked like too early, right? They will rob the enamel from your teeth because they're so acid. So, you know, one of the ways I like to combat that is by juicing when I juice, because I won't eat these out of hand. They're too acid. They suck really bad. You know, I will juice these guys and I'll just peel off the coloring. Only I'll leave the white pith. And then I'll juice them with cucumbers. And that's why I bought so many cucumbers, so I could actually temper the acid of the oranges and have a nice sweet cucumber juice. Maybe even add some greens to it with some citrus with the white pith on there. And so these are excellent for juicing. Another way I could do it is if I just, you know, instead of using a vertical juicer like I would do and use the white pith, if I just cut these in half and press them on my orange press, the Olympus orange press, then get the orange juice. Then I'll basically dilute it half and half with coconut water. That seems to reduce the acid enough not to like mess up my teeth. Because if I have too much acid, then my teeth will get sensitive. They'll start to hurt. And then that's when I really need to, you know, brush with my mineralization toothpaste. And if you guys want a video on my tooth dental care, sharing my toothpaste and all my things I do, hey, thumbs this video up, and also you post a link or post a comment down below letting me know. I've been planning that for a while, and maybe if you guys speak out, it'll get me off my butt to actually make it. All right. But yeah, I mean, I could not resist 40 cents a pound organic, you know, oranges. But now I want to share with you guys actually how I prefer to buy my oranges instead of at the produce terminal from Mexico. All right, so here's how I prefer to buy my oranges instead of from Mexico. These are California grown oranges, and this is one of the things I source actually at the farmers market. So, you know, generally I'll get it at the Hollywood farmers market or the Torrance farmers market. And, you know, these are the Valencias I get. So, number one, I want you guys to notice, like, these are organic and these are organic. Which ones look nicer? Not to say that the ones that always look more ugly are better. But these guys are kind of shriveled up. They're also like a lot more deep kind of orange color. These are a little bit more like, you know, lighter in color. These ones a little bit softer. These ones a little bit harder. Now, even more so, if I go into this bag and dig around, I could find some even larger ones. And let's see if I could find a super ripe one here for you guys to show you guys an example. I don't know if I'll find one in here today. Oh yeah, this is pretty good. Alright, that bag's gonna slide. Oops, I'm losing my oranges. Alright. So I don't know if you guys can see that on the camera, but can you guys see that this is not perfectly round, number one. Number two, you could kind of start to see like little lines. It's not like veins, but it's like kind of indentations. And the other thing that you're not seeing here is that this is like super soft. I mean, I could press this. This gives like a nice ripe avocado. What you guys are not understanding is that this fruit has been literally sitting on the orange tree, the Valencia citrus tree at this farm since February, right? They harvest on an on-demand, as-needed basis, and they basically will let this fruit hang on the tree, it's fine sitting there on the tree. They don't have to harvest it as soon as it starts to turn color, which is actually what they're doing in Mexico, because they got to ship them. And these guys, if they try to ship ones that are this ripe, right, what's going to happen? They're going to mold, they're going to go bad, kind of like those Satsumas I got a little bit earlier, right? And meanwhile, because they've been sitting on the tree, they've been absorbing more nutrients from the mother plant, from the soil, from the earth, from the tree. In addition, the acids like dissipate. They lower in acid, they get sweeter, they're more mineral rich. And I mean, that's just the way we should be eating our fruit, so try to get as much local fruit as you guys can. And even if it's from California, it's probably generally picked a little bit riper than Mexico. But nonetheless, man, that's why I get citrus for the most part from the farmer directly. And this is not even my favorite citrus. I'll show you guys some of my favorite citrus I got this trip. But yeah, so like, comparing the two, more uniform shape, nice and hard, soft, kind of like a weird texture and pitting. You guys won't normally see these guys like at a grocery store, and if you guys don't live in California, you might not ever see like more truly ripe citrus unless you actually grow them yourself. So yeah, this is the kind of citrus I will eat out of hand because they are so ripe. Some of these guys, of course, in this bag are not super ripe like that. They're a little bit harder like this. But, nonetheless, I bet you money that this, if I bricks this out, this one's going to be sweeter than this one that is just really just picked way too early, in my opinion. And this is a big problem, with any fruit, right? Any fruit you guys are buying and eating as a raw food, or just somebody that likes fruit, or somebody that wants to eat healthy, right? If you guys are shopping at the grocery store, right, they're picking the fruit, in most cases, far too early, and it never fully properly ripens. That means you'll never really get the true flavor and taste of what the fruit should taste like. You're never going to get the full vitamins, minerals, and nutrients, or the enzymes or the phytochemicals as high as they could be. And also you may have negative repercussions in the case of the citrus that's unripe with a higher acid content. So for that reason, I would encourage you guys to go to farmers markets if you have them in your area, or even better yet than farmers markets, plant your own fruit trees, right, and harvest them at their peak ripeness. Some of my favorite fruit that I eat are harvested off my very fruit trees that I grow myself. If you guys want to learn how to grow your own fruit trees and grow your own food, hey, check the link down below for my other YouTube channel, Growing Your Greens. Alright, next case I have to show for you guys. Actually, I didn't even get at the produce terminal because it's actually more expensive at the produce terminal and the selection was not as good. Nor did I get this at a farmer's market because they don't grow this locally as far as I'm aware. And what this is one of my favorite fruits. It's the jackfruit. So we got two jackfruits here and got these at the SF supermarket. Sun Thiao something supermarket in Rosemead. They had a really good selection of jackfruits, like a lot, like at least 3 dozen, 4 dozen I could pick through and get the 2 best ones. 69 cents a pound for these jackfruits, and these are a little bit soft. I mean, they yield to gentle pressure. They have nice flattened, basically mountains on the humps instead of being like really pointed. They smell decent, and we're gonna wait and see. Because these are not ripe, these will just hang out in the house, and as they ripen, then I'll cut open to them and eat them. Hopefully by that time I'll be through a lot of the other fruit that you guys have seen. Jackfruit is amazing. It tastes like juicy fruit gum. If you guys want to know all my tips on how to pick a good jackfruit from the store anyways, check the link down below for a video I made on that. Yeah, 80 cents at the produce terminal, and I only saw 2 cases, so you could choose from 4 jackfruits, or at the Asian market, 69 cents a pound, and they had like at least 4 dozen that I got to pick through, right? And these ones were actually grown in Mexico. All right, next up are some of my favorite fruits that I got this trip. Some of which, because I picked them myself, including these guys, which are basically strawberry guavas. Only got a few of those off a tree I found. And I got a nice quince, which is amazing smelling. Smells super amazing, although probably doesn't you can't eat it raw unless you like literally let it sit there and what's called blet, or like become super overripe, kind of like a plantain banana. You want this to be totally black, soft, looking weird. It's still going to stay astringent, have the tannins in there, all right? That's number 1. Oh, and then these guys I picked today off the very tree that you guys saw in the beginning of my OK Raw video. You see me like it with pictures eating tangerines underneath the tree. I went back to that tree, and that's these tangerines from that very tree I was sitting underneath in my OK Raw intro shot, so that was kind of fun. And then at the farmer's market, Hollywood Farmer's Market, I saw Murray Farms, and Murray Farms is amazing because they grow a lot of common things, but some uncommon things as well, so you always got to check. And I got these guys, which are actually basically wild palm fruit. That's what they are. They're basically like little black fruits. They have very little fruit on them. If I go ahead and eat one here, they have a hard seed that will crack your teeth. I'm going to say it's like, I mean, there's the seed. I'm going to say it's like at least like 75% seed, 25% fruit. When the fruit comes off in your mouth, it actually has a nice molasses / date, standard date palm flavor. These guys are also black, so they're high in anthocyanins and probably super antioxidant rich, although there's not a lot of fruit on here. I want to buy these so I could take some nice Instagram pictures, plus eat these guys, and I'm going to plant the seeds to have, the same tree. That was cool. And then the next thing I got, these guys are super unique. I've never seen these guys in my life before, once again from Murray Farms. And if you guys look at these guys, you guys see the little tops? It looks like a persimmon, right? I'll have a better picture on my Instagram, so if you don't follow me on Instagram, check the link in the description down below to go to my Instagram and click follow. Every day is my goal. I try to post a cool, inspiring picture of fruits and vegetables, foods I'm eating, plant foods, or things that I'm doing that's fun. To let you guys know what's going on in my life, but also give you guys some good tidbits and knowledge that could help improve your life and make your fruit and vegetable diet more fun and encourage you guys to eat more fruits and vegetables. Anyways, these guys are actually called Lilac Persimmons or Caucasian Persimmons. They're native to Asia, right? And they grow, I think, in the Middle East, Mediterranean, in some parts of Asia. These guys are the astringent kind. So think of these guys as little mini Hychia persimmons, right? These guys have to be super soft and black, literally, and soft before you guys could eat them. So soft and wrinkly is what they need to be, or otherwise they'll be astringent as heck. And these are actually a wild food. I think like what is it, Plato or Hippocrates, or I don't know, one of them old-fashioned dudes. Like, they wrote about these fruits. Like, these are ancient fruits, right? And this is probably more like what fruits should be, not like all these hybridized fruits that we get modern fruits of today. Not to say that hybridized fruits are bad, but, to me, I prefer to eat more wild fruits whenever I could get my hands on them, and this is the case in point. Hybridized fruits can be hybridized for good, in my opinion, which would be equal more antioxidants, more nutrition, or in my opinion for bad, or for more sugar content, right? And hey, sugar's good for us. We need a proper amount of sugar, but I want to really focus my diet on getting lots of phytonutrients. And because these guys are literally black, these are rich in phytonutrients. Let me go ahead and buy one open for you guys. You guys can see what's inside, and I can explain the taste here. So basically, these are like really black, small, like dime, less than a dime shaped persimmons. So inside, wow, oh my god, the flavor is insane. Like, it tastes like a plum, persimmon, like fruity, like flowers and dates all at the same time. Sad thing is, there's no seed. I guess that's a good thing. It's a good thing when you're eating it, but it's a bad thing for people like me that want to collect these things. There is no seed inside, so I can't propagate it and grow it. But yeah, Lilac Persimmons, Caucasian Persimmons. Look it up. Do a Google search. This is the first time I've actually seen them for sale. I know some specialty produce sellers may sell these, but this is the first time I've seen them or was even aware of them. So yeah, thank you to Murray Farms for growing these and making these available. That being said, they had 2 little boxes of these, and I bought them all. So I'll be taking some good pictures of it and probably giving you guys more research on it. Yeah, one amazing fruit. Yeah, anyway, so each of these cartons, I bought 2 cartons of these and 1 carton of these. And so 3 cartons total was $13. So that was actually quite spendy for me. But, I'll spend good money for good fruit. And this is definitely good fruit. Alright, so the next thing I got was actually at the farmer's market, and I'll let you guys know that this is my favorite date vendor at present time, although it switches and changes on a regular basis. I've gotten dates from the Flying Disc, which is biodynamic dates. I made a video at their farm. I've gotten dates from the date people, and, every date has their pros and cons. I like some farming practice from some people better. I like some varieties from some people. I get dates from the China Ranch, although they are not organic, so I prefer only organic dates at this point. And I prefer these dates because they are organic and they're the lowest price I found. And they have a pretty good, decent selection. So these are organic Quadrari dates. This is 4 pounds in this bag. I got some organic Halawi dates, 4 pounds in the bag. And I got some organic honey dates. And to me, these don't look like honey dates because they are so dark. Like, it's really weird. Anyways, I like to choose the dark dates, and these are like this year's harvest, so they're like nice and moist and soft. When you do get dates that are moist and soft, I would encourage you guys to store them in the fridge instead of out of the fridge, so they stay fresher for longer. And I'll tell you guys where I get these from. This is at the farmers market, so I don't know if they do mail order, but if they do, you can try to give them a call and order them and ask for their 4-pound, for $14 deal, which is an amazing price. We'll ching up the price there for you guys. And it's Bautista Family Organic Date Ranch in Mecca. And their phone number is 760-396-2337. If you guys want to try to call them and see if they will ship you dates. These are very perishable. They don't pack these the best way. I mean, they should be putting these in boxes, these ones in bags, kind of get a little bit mushed up. Some of these are mush, but that's all right. Then I eat mush dates. And these dates are amazing. I'll find occasional bug in there and stuff. But, they're just organic, and, I brush off the bug poop, brush out the bug, and maybe wash it off and eat it. And it's just more protein. Don't be weirded out. Although if you're truly vegan, you see a worm in there. I can't eat any more dates because they're not vegan because they all have worms. Well, they don't all have worms. Some of them have worms, and worms are natural. If you see a worm, hey, if you want to be a nice vegan, take him outside and let him go if he's still alive, all right? All right, next I want to show you guys some more fruit I got. As you guys can see, I got literally a whole bunch of organic blueberries. These are class 1 organic blueberries, 6 ounces. How much are these near you? $4.99. Hopefully they're not more than $4.99. That's a ripoff. John Kohler does not pay $4.99 for these guys. John Kohler pays for the USDA organic blueberries, and these are imported this time of year from Chile, $1 each, right? And so I got basically like maybe 24, 26. I've been eating those over the last couple days as a meal. Gave some to my parents. And, I have lots of blueberries. And these are in good shape. These are like prime blueberries. These will store easily like 2-3 weeks in the fridge while I get to eat them. And if I don't get to eat them, then I freeze them. And then I'll use them in smoothies later on. Now, the produce terminal did have organic blueberries today. And a case of 12 was $6. You're like, John, man, you got ripped off. You paid $1 each at the 99 Only stores. Hey, 99 Only store is a dollar store. They will have organic things once in a while. And the store I went to in this trip had organic blueberries, organic blackberries, and organic raspberries, all for $1, which is totally amazing. Although the blueberries were the best, the raspberries and the blackberries were imported from Mexico, and they were really picked unripe, in my opinion. All right. But yeah, so I buy things and get things from all over. But anyways, the blueberries from the produce terminal, like they were moldy, they were going bad, and I don't want to save like half my money to just buy blueberries and have to pick through like a lot of them. I mean, maybe if I didn't find these guys for $1, I might have bought like 1 case because hey, they're good, but they're just in far bad a shape for me to want to even deal with that. Meanwhile, if you go to Heath and Lejeune and buy blueberries, they're significantly more money, like $20, $25, $30 per case of 12, right? And that's like the real wholesale price. So I don't know how the 99 Only store does it, but hey, I'm glad that I got, 2 cases of organic blueberries to eat over the next, several weeks. So I could increase the phytonutrient content of my diet. I want to encourage you guys to eat high antioxidant fruits. In the case today, I got the organic blueberries, some of those darker, wild fruits, super high antioxidant. Of course, the persimmons, they're super high antioxidant compared to, say, apples. Also, the cactus fruits, very high antioxidant, all right? Now, the other thing I think one of the last things I got some sugarcane juice. So sugarcane juice, one of my favorite juices in the world. If you guys aren't aware of sugarcane juice, I'll post links down below to where I got this sugarcane juice. It's actually was formerly called Dr. Jolly's, now called Fresh Canes. I also have a video where I talk about making my own fresh sugarcane juice in my sugarcane juicer. Sugarcane juice actually has less sugar in it than orange juice, which I bought a ton of oranges. I'd rather drink sugarcane juice than unripe acid orange juice because the sugarcane juice is not acid, and the sugarcane is in a grass that can absorb up to 90 different minerals, and it makes lots of different phytonutrients and phytochemicals, and mostly sugarcane juice is mostly water, let's face it. There's some sugar in there, there's some nutrients in there, but it's mostly water, and a refreshing, nice beverage. I juice this, I get this, at Fresh Canes, they juice it, I add a bunch of lemon juice, I put it in a mason jar, I suck out a vacuum, and I can easily store this now for, 2 weeks easily. My favorite way to use this juice is if I make a juice that doesn't taste good, I'll dilute the sugarcane juice in with it. But more importantly, I actually like to use this juice in recipes. So one of my favorite recipes to use this juice in, I'll basically blend this juice with some, sesame seeds, some miso, and some garlic, and have an amazing, garlic miso tahini dressing. I could blend this with other nuts and seeds and other, tomatoes and peppers and make a nice Thousand Island style dressing. But yeah, it's really flexible, and because I can vacuum save it, it allows me to save it longer. Make sure you guys vacuum seal your juices and or smoothies, and I would encourage you guys to vacuum blend your smoothies if you guys are making smoothies. Check the link down below where I show you guys actually how you guys could vacuum save your own juices so they last significantly longer. Unvacuum save without lemon, the sugarcane juice might only last a day or two before going kind of bad, I guess, unless you want alcohol. And then it's fermenting. Alright, so this is the last thing I'm going to show you guys today, because this is probably about pretty much all I bought on my trip here. And what I got here is seaweeds, different kinds of seaweeds. I do like to eat seaweeds, along with growing my own, fruit, vegetables, mostly in highly mineralized soil with rock dust and ocean, solids for up to 90 different trace minerals in my garden, because pretty much most of the conventional and even organic food that I bought, they're not doing the right soil practices to grow high quality food. They're just doing the bare minimum to meet the organic standards, to not spray, but they're not really growing truly high quality food, in my opinion, because most farmers are concerned more about making a buck than actually growing high quality food. So that's why I eat, and I would encourage you guys to eat on, in limited amounts. Don't go crazy on this stuff here. Is seaweeds. Seaweeds are from the ocean. The ocean has all the trace minerals that should be on land, in land vegetables, and literally seaweed is, greens of the sea, leafy green vegetables of the ocean, right? I know what you guys are thinking, John, the oceans are contaminated. Well, I don't know if you guys checked, but the last time I looked up in the sky, I saw planes spreading chemtrails. There's diesel particulate coming out of, diesel trucks. There's cars, driving down the I-5, which is where some of the very farms that are growing the citrus that I'm eating are being grown. So, basically, the earth is polluted. Who's responsible? The animals on the earth and the other creatures on the earth sure are not responsible. We are responsible. Not me personally, but all the other people on the planet. They're basically raping and pillaging the planet for greater profit, just to make a buck, right? And so that's what it is. That's what we have to live in right now. It's not because of you. It's not because of me. It's just because what people have done. Because they don't care about the environment. I think this is incredibly sad. I wish it would stop happening. But I'm just trying to live my life and do what I can, right? And be the healthiest I can, and be a model and show what I think people should do, which is grow their own food in their yard, right? And so anyways, I eat some seaweed because I believe it can benefit me. Not only because of the trace minerals, but because of some of the different, nutritive properties of the seaweeds that are not found in other plants, like the fucoidan. You could get a supplement to do this stuff anyways. It could help you with weight loss, fat burning, and who knows what else, right? And so I buy seaweeds, right? You're like, John, the oceans are polluted, man. They got heavy metals. Well, right. You're totally right, because if you look on, a properly packed seaweed, they will have a warning sticker like this. Warning. Consuming this product can expose you to chemicals including cadmium and lead, which are known to the state of California to cause cancer and birth defects and other reproductive harm. For more information, go to p65warning.ca.gov/food. So yes, despite this having a Prop 65 warning, I'm eating this seaweed. Now, I'm not sitting here and eating this whole seaweed bag in one sitting, and I don't eat seaweed each and every day. I might eat seaweed once a week, maybe twice a week if I'm lucky, right? So I'm getting small amounts of these, beneficial nutrients, and that's everything, right? Everything on the planet, there's always good and there's bad. Nothing's ever all bad and nothing's ever all good, right? I would personally rather eat seaweed that has a Prop 65 warning than a package of dead animal flesh that doesn't have a Prop 65 warning that, in my opinion, should, right? All meat should have Prop 65 warnings, whether it's salted, cured, or just raw meat, because they knowingly have things in there that are not good, but meanwhile they're putting it on seaweed and other green powder supplements and supplement companies and things, because California has super stringent laws. And there's a thing, I'll explain, right? Prop 65 warning on seaweed, right? The same Prop 65 warning is on every single gas pump in California, right? What's more toxic? Pumping your gas, breathing the fumes out of the gas station, or eating some seaweed with the same Prop 65 warning. I don't got to tell you guys, right? Pumping gas is worse than eating some seaweed because the gas is pretty much all bad. You're breathing the fumes, the MTBE, the other chemicals they're putting in there. Luckily, I don't pump gas unless I'm traveling and getting a rental car because I only drive electric now. And it's a dream. But anyways, with the seaweed, you get all the good minerals, you know, so you got the iodine in here. Where the hell are you guys getting your iodine if you're vegan, right? If you're not supplementing, if you're not paying attention, you can become iodine deficient. It can be an issue. Then you're going to have to take an artificial supplement iodine, right? Which some people in the raw foods want you to do. I would prefer to eat my iodine in the seaweeds, and hey, at the same time of getting iodine, I might be getting some other, you know, elements that in high doses can be bad. You know, our bodies are detoxification systems. As long as you don't overload your body with too much mercury, right? Your body can handle a little bit of mercury, but if you got mercury bleeding out of your teeth from all your fillings, yeah, that could cause big issues. Luckily, I got all my mercury fillings removed. You know, so, you know, I don't go crazy on the seaweeds. You know, I wouldn't encourage anybody to do that. But I do believe that on, you know, irregular basis, they can contain some nutrients that can be good. And there's good and bad seaweeds, you know, so I prefer to get seaweeds from like Ireland, from New Zealand, which I do source also, and I have seaweeds from New Zealand and Ireland, you know, in California where they test it, that, you know, that I also eat in addition to these guys. You know, the seaweeds that I got were from the Asian market, right? Mitsuma Marketplace down in like Torrance area. And, you know, I don't buy the seaweeds from China. You know, I'm pretty convinced that the Chinese seaweeds, China does not regulate anything. They don't really care about their people. They don't care about other people. They just care about the almighty dollar, which I think is sad. And so I don't like to buy seaweeds from China, although I have on some limited instances. All these seaweeds here are from Japan. And you're like, John, man, Fukushima happened in Japan, man. You're going to hurt your health. So, you know, here's the thing, right? You guys could worry about every little thing. If you guys want to, like, grow a garden, like, cover it up with netting so that no chemtrails come on it, right? You know, I want to try to minimize the exposure to bad things and increase the good things in my life, right? Everything, there's a pro and a con, right? Once again, I'd rather eat seaweed than eat some vegan diet cheese, right? Seaweed, despite having some heavy metals or some maybe radiation, you know, in my opinion, is a good thing. I'm not, like, overdosing. I'm not eating a seaweed-based diet. I eat a fruit and vegetable-based diet, you know, hopefully dominated with vegetables mostly, lots of juices, and I like to eat some seaweeds. You know, I did buy seaweed from a company in Japan, and they did do radiation testing that I have seen, and so I would think that in Japan, at least, you know, they do care more so about their you know, peoples there, and they would do testing because I'm sure they're aware of Fukushima, the radiation, and I hope they do testing. I haven't seen test data on that, but, you know, I would tend to trust the seaweed from Japan and Korea more than China. And once again, I don't eat it in any large amounts, and of course, you know, you guys could criticize me for what I do. I'm just sharing with what I do and being transparent, you know, because I believe seaweed could be helpful. You know, and hey, if you're really concerned, source seaweeds from places like Canada, New Zealand, Ireland, you know, that have minimal probability. You know, I like that. Different seaweeds grow in different areas of the world, and different areas of the world may have different varieties, and the seaweeds may absorb different nutrients. So that's why I just like to get all the different kinds and just mix a hodgepodge of this and that, you know, in my diet. And I believe that by eating cilantro and having other, you know, seaweeds and algae, which may actually help pull out some of the toxins, you know, that may be contained within, is a good thing. And so, to each their own. You guys get to choose what you guys want to do. I'm just telling you guys what I do. If you guys are curious, you know, or whatever. So that's pretty much it for this episode. A little bit long-winded. You guys learn what I'm eating this week, what I'm eating and making for my Christmas dinner for my family. Actually, some of the seaweed will be going in there because here, let me tell you guys this, right? My family, they're still eating a lot of processed and packaged foods. Processed and packaged foods with added oils and salts and sugars. Is that healthier than some seaweed that has a Prop 65 warning that may contain a few amounts of heavy metals? Well, I'll tell you, they're packaged foods, processed foods, highly concentrated foods, and animal products. Those ones, in my opinion, are much more contaminated, and they probably should have a Prop 65 warning, but they don't. According to the Prop 65 warning, pretty much most foods sold in the grocery store probably should have a Prop 65 warning, and I'm sure California will get around to that one day or another, and then in which case the Prop 65 will truly lose its meaning. I think it's good overall. but it has been causing a lot of strife in the natural food industry, and you guys could research that if you guys want to. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys enjoyed this episode, my haul videos, what I'm buying, what I'm doing, and my ramblings about all these things, hey, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Also be sure to share this video with somebody else that you might think it will help. Also leave your comments for me down below. I can't answer pretty much any comments, but I do try to read them and might answer one here and there. You know, it is important for me that I am making a difference out there and let you guys know what I've been doing now for the last 23 years that is working for me. And, you know, I believe it will work for many people also, and I try to have a more, you know, more balanced approach than trying to exclude big things and include a lot of things. I just try to, like, include a lot of different things, and hopefully you guys see from my videos that, you know, I try to be as most balanced as I can and eat a lot of different foods and source different fruits from different places as much as I can, and that's what I would encourage you guys as well. Also, be sure to click that subscribe button right down below, and make sure you click the little bell to get notified of my new upcoming episodes that come out every 5 to 7 days. You never know where I'll show up or you'll be learning on my YouTube channel. And finally, be sure to check my past episodes. My past episodes are a wealth of knowledge. Over 500 episodes at this time, teach you guys all aspects about eating a fruit and vegetable dominated diet so you guys can be as healthy as you guys can. If you want to learn how to shop the produce terminal, hey, check the links down below in the description. I have videos there. If you want to learn how to store your produce properly, check the links in the description down below. These are some of the common questions that I get, you know, or how do you use all the produce before it goes bad? Well, I eat it, juice it, freeze it, or freeze dry it, and maybe even dehydrate it if I have to, before it goes bad so I get to eat it. I have some loss, but it's very little, and because I buy it for so cheap, if I lose a mango or two, I'm not really concerned. And I'm not really even losing it because it goes in my compost bin, which is actually right outside right there. And then it basically gets turned into soil, which then I grow my vegetables in. All right? So everybody wins. There's no waste in nature. Compost happens. All right? So I think that's pretty much it for this episode. So once again, this is John Kohler with OKRaw.com. We'll see you next time. Until then, remember, keep eating your fresh fruits and vegetables. They're always the best.